Let's go 9 Jeromes. Good morning. Happy Tuesday. Maybe we should get back to having the morning simultaneous sip. It's good times, right? But today is a very important day in America because it's NFL trade deadline day. Nah, use that joke too much. Anyways, but for the Vikings, it's such an odd situation, right? So the team came in with lowered expectations. Everyone had the Vikings at 5.5 wins, 6.5 wins, whatever, right? But initially they overachieved. Starting out 5-0, and then 2 near-run things against the Lions, and then they beat themselves against the Rams. Actually, they beat themselves against the Lions too, which we want those jabronis again. That's right. And then got a nice win in a weird way against the Colts. Now you have 3 straight road games, road warriors at Jacksonville, at Tennessee, great barbecue, and then at Chicago. Right? And now I don't know. I don't even know what to make of this season. Now, obviously, we are the purveyor of purple positivity, so we think that the Vikings are going to finish 15-2. Like, this is cribbage, baby. That's right. But I don't like. This is such a odd, but really fun team, right? And people didn't expect anything out of Sling and Sam Darnold, right? Him coming in replacing Kirk Cousins, who's looking pretty good for the Falcons. Gotta give respect there. And also the fact that the Buccaneers are just slipping, falling, they can't get up. Falcons are gonna run away with that division. Is what it is, right? And the Vikings, they're ahead of schedule, right? The whole competitive rebuild with Kwesi and Kevin O'Connell, they already got their quarterback of the future in their back pocket with J.J. McCarthy. Also love that he's still getting the full rookie experience, even though he can't participate in practice with that knee. But he's in there absorbing the playbook, the culture, bugging the bejesus out of Udinski and McCown and Kevin O'Connell every single day, which is beautiful, right? And defensively, I mean, that Flores Hellfire defense sort of disappeared for a couple of games, but you see what can happen when they actually do get a pass rush there. And Diamond Dallas Turner, he's developing, man. Frankly, had his best game as a pro against the Colts, and you just see the difference between, game 1 against the Giants was great. He was still figuring things out. Got himself a sack, but consistent, mature pressure and rushing with a plan, you're really starting to see that now. He really is a night and day difference between week 1 and week 9. So that's fantastic to see because it's still a passer and get the passer league, and the fact that the Vikings have their quarterback of the future, that they have their talisman on the edge, that should make fans feel really, really good about things, right? And at the trade deadline, whatever happens today. Hopefully, they can pull off a blockbuster, and not just for now, but also for the future. Of course, the whole Simmons, Dexter, Quinnen, as well as Osa Odighizuwa is really interesting because he's in his contract year with the Cowboys, and he's the guy that I would adore to have in free agency. Just that quick interior pressure, the pride of UCLA, blowing up that gap. That's exactly what you need. So do you make the move now for just a little bit of draft capital? I don't think that he would break the bank like a Quinnen, Dexter, or Simmons, because he's in a contract year and is probably going to walk in free agency next year for the Cowboys, right? So whatever happens today. But right now, the Vikings have a damn good football team. And I know people piss and moan, like, but the Vikings on average are like the third oldest team in the league. That's fine. But also, it's not definitive of how this team actually is, because you have outliers like DePaula, you have Aaron Jones, you have Harrison Smith, you got Gilly as older guys on this rooster. But in fact, the Vikings are exceedingly young at premium positions. You look at Jefferson, you look at Hawkinson, you look at Darisaw, and obviously J.J. McCarthy and Diamond Dallas Turner are both 21. So the future of this team is bright, and I know that it kind of sucks not having draft picks, but that first rounder is going to be late anyway, so maybe this is an F them picks situation. Plus, it's obvious that Kwesi and the scouting staff are very adept at finding day 3 talent, at finding UDFA talent, and also the fact that the Vikings have so much cap space in 2025 where they're able to supplement the rooster that way, you're good to go. Now, the draft is still the lifeblood of a team, but the Vikings are in a weird interregnum period where they've mortgaged some of the future in terms of draft picks to acquire high-end draft talent at the 2 most important positions in sports. So you almost have this window where you're fine, since you already have your quarterback and your edge rusher in your back pocket. Also, could you imagine the season if the Vikings didn't have McCarthy, right? Where it's just like, is Darnold the guy? Is he not the guy? Is he not the guy? What the Vikings could do in the draft? They should tank. They could finish 5-12. I'm glad that discourse is out the window. And it does feel like writ large, the fan base is confident in Kevin O'Connell as a quarterback developer, right? Because he's gotten the best out of Kirk Cousins, he's gotten the best out of slinging Sam Darnold at times, won a Super Bowl at Stafford, etc. And his connection with J.J. McCarthy long term, that's got to make you feel good, because it's still a quarterback-driven league. And if you have your quarterback and your head coach / offensive play caller on the same page, you're head and shoulders above the rest of the competition. Because you look at the other teams around the league where the quarterback is not talented enough, or they're disjointed with their head coach, they're disjointed with the offense. I mean, it's a mess, and there really is no hope, because other facets of the team can only carry you so far, but a good quarterback and a good offensive play caller is a cologne that covers up a lot of stink, man. And the Vikings certainly have that. So overall, I mean, enjoy the season, and whatever happens, happens. But the future is exceedingly bright with this squad, and I can't wait to see what happens, baby. And also, the Lions again. Bring the Lions on. But that's it. Raw Rewind. Also, we're headed to undisclosed location, so you're welcome for the Dexter Lawrence second trade. Anyways, that's it. Skull, no production value.